DAWS. It's obviously a year since our first Puppy Love Ball, and we've had some great accomplishments in that time. We were finalists in the Zoo 2 Shelter Makeover Contest in the middle of last year, and actually placed 8th in the entire country. Yay!
All right.
And that's directly related to our community support. Another one of our accomplishments last year was that we got to improve our building thanks to a fantastic community institution, the Union Savings Bank Foundation. Thank you, Union Savings Bank. And most importantly last year, we were able to continue our mission of rescuing, rehabilitating, and rehoming companion animals. Last year, 500 dogs and cats came through the doors of DAWS, and over 500 left to loving new homes. We're going into our 35th year, and 2009 is certain to have new challenges. Everyone's being affected by the economy, and so are our animals. When I think about that, I think about one particular animal. I live just down the road at a condo complex, and unfortunately, one of my neighbors foreclosed on their home. And what must have been dire circumstances left their cat behind. As I saw the cat in the complex, I knew DAWS had to help her. Her name was Hollis. She was way ahead of me. She had taken up residence underneath the bedroom window of the complex's resident animal advocate. That would be me. She was shielding herself from the elements of the winter, the freezing rain, the snow that just won't seem to go away. So I called the team, I packed her up, drove her to the shelter, where our Monday night team lead, Cheryl Rakowski, and she's also a volunteer coordinator. She wears several hats.
Cheryl.
Welcomed her with open arms. And the very next day, our shelter manager, Veronica, gave her a little pampering session, which included shaving off most of her fur because she had been completely matted from being outside for so long. After a few weeks, she acclimated to the shelter, her personality came out, she was very friendly, and she caught the eye of a potential adopter. And I'm very happy to say, about a month ago, Hollis found her new home. For every cat story, we have a dog story. And I'm sure that Lynn or Wendy, our dog committee chairpersons, or our lovely ladies of the Tuesday night crew who are all here tonight would be glad to regale you with some of the stories, some of the happy endings, the reasons they do what they do. One of our biggest accomplishments that we had as a community was re-electing Congressman Christopher Murphy. The Congressman is committed to animal welfare, and I encourage everyone to review the Humane Society scorecard to understand the full spectrum of his commitment. Just this week, I received in the mail the Congressman's report card. I knew I'd have a chance to speak with him this evening, so I thought I'd give the dogs and cats at the shelter an opportunity to give you some feedback, if you don't mind. Our dogs would like you to make sure that the Cannon House building and all of your offices in Connecticut, and you can bring your dog to work day. It's June 26th this year. Our cats would like you to remember their motto. It's their way or the highway. So don't compromise on animal rights legislation. And all of our animals, like everyone here, to remember not to shop, but adopt. There are over 10 million animals that enter shelters each year, and only a fraction lead to their own homes. Sadly, we all know that many of them are euthanized. Help us shut down puppy mills that feed and fuel the pet stores across the country. Woohoo! Shut them down. Our animals hope that you take these words back to Washington like the other two. We know you will, because you're definitely a man of action. Most first-time congressmen, in their first term, they sit back, they play it safe, they find their comfort zone. But Chris immediately went to co-sponsor two pieces of powerful animal rights legislation. One being the Down Animals Act, and the other, the Animal Fighting Prohibition Act, which made it clear that whether you're Michael Vick or an anonymous dog fighter, it will no longer be tolerated. And with that said, I'd like to invite our Congressman Christopher Murphy to join me. As Dog Person of the Year, Animal Rights Advocate.
Let me say thank you so much to Chris, to the entire board, to Gail, who is so much a part of what is happening here with such a great turnout. I mean, there are not a lot of dinners in their second year that can see this type of turnout that can raise as much money as you're going to raise. And frankly, you all need to give yourself a big round of applause for it. And thank you very much for this award. I mean, I am wholly undeserving of it, and it's a wonderful and beautiful award, except for the fact that some of the best time in Washington is the days in which Congress isn't in session, because the staff don't have to deal with their bosses, don't have to look at them. Well, now they're going to have to look at me every day. I put that thing up on the wall. As the proud owner of our cat from a shelter. This is a natural extension for me of what we do every day. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in Washington on animal welfare issues. Chris mentioned a couple of the most important bills that we're going to be looking to move through the process. But maybe the most important piece is the funding piece. I mean, you're here to raise money for your cause, for the shelter work that you do. But what happens in this economy is not only do you have more people losing their homes, do you have more people deciding that they can't or won't take care of their pet and putting the pressure on the work that all of you do, but the government budgets start to get tight, notwithstanding the $800 billion that we're about to vote on. After that, the budgets at the state level and the federal level are going to be very difficult ones, as they are for Mayor Bowden, such a great friend of yours at the town level. And so a lot of our work is going to come not just on passing those pieces of legislation that get tough on animal cruelty, not just going after the puppy mills that have gone unchecked for too long in this country, but to also be real strong advocates for the animal welfare funding in the federal and state and local budgets. And the USDA budget is constantly under pressure at the federal level, and I've been one of the co-signers the last 2 years of a letter to try to make the case to our leadership that that's not one of the places as the most affluent country in the world that we want to be cutting, that it says something about the conscience of a nation as to how we treat the animals that live amongst us. We have lots of struggles, we have lots of challenges, but as a country that enjoys luxuries and riches and affluence that many other countries don't, I think that's something we can do at the very least. So I thank you so much for this token. You can count on me as a friend in things big and small. As I said, with Mayor Bowden, with the people that fight for you at the state level, you've got a lot of friends to work with here. I look forward to having just a wonderful and strong relationship for years to come. So thank you very much.
Personally, we know how busy his schedule is, so thank you, Congressman.